So I started sleeping better, and it took me a while before I realized, well, yeah, I got more energy. Yeah, I'm sleeping really well, deeper. The scoliosis got better, and I went, oh my gosh, I'm so calm. I mean, it just came over me like that. And I don't have things like that happen ever.
Hey, Karen, thanks so much for coming to spend some time with me today.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, I love talking to you. You know that, girl. Hey, so can you start off by telling the listeners a little bit about how you were feeling prior to QHS?
Well, I'm 73. I had, I guess I didn't have a whole lot of energy. I do massage full time, but I was always concerned with having enough strength. I mean, so far, so good. But I also had some issues. I had some significant scoliosis. For the last 5 or 6 years, it got pretty bad. And then I had a skin condition that was undiagnosed, but I was working on that. And so those were, I didn't have any heart conditions. I didn't have any high blood pressure, but the issues I had were definitely impacting my strength and my ability to feel like I could become a humanitarian, what I want to do. I just didn't, whoa, do I have the energy I need? So I've had mine for 4 months.
Oh, cool. So you got it around the same time as me,
Mm-hmm.
end of March.
Uh-huh. Yeah, as soon as I got it, I charged it up, as they said, like you always do all new things. And then I thought, I read the instructions and it said something about putting it on your spine. That's what this paper came in my little box. And I tucked it into my jeans back here, and I was just standing in front of the stove. And it went like, whoa. I went, oh my gosh, I'm so calm. I mean, it just came over me like that. And I don't have things like that happen ever. That was a
Wow.
one time. I mean, it was just, as soon as I tucked it in there, I was standing there and I went, oh my goodness, centered. And of course, now that I've had it for a long time, I don't have that aha stuff. But the first time I put it on, it was, oh my goodness.
That's cool.
And so
So you
I
felt
just
it.
started sleeping better, and 24/7. So I started sleeping better. And it took me a while before I realized, well, yeah, I got more energy. Yeah, I'm sleeping really well, deeper and all that. But these other issues aren't quite being corrected. The scoliosis got better. And then depending on my stress, it pulls on both sides of my back. And so I'm learning to deal with my stress properly and go, what are you worried about? And then I learned to, as I mentioned before we got on here, that I started going to bed earlier, getting, just moving it up from say 12, 1, 2, I'd get busy doing things. So I moved it. Oh yeah. My grandmother would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning because she would write her letters and do everything she wanted to do. And then she'd sleep till noon. And my grandpa, but she had diabetes, and she didn't take any meds at all, but she had issues. So I thought, okay, I've done this kind of stuff. I need to really put my money where my mouth is. And, hearing you talk about, so I started going to bed at 10, 11, and it made a difference. And then I started eating earlier so that at nighttime, when I go to sleep, my body is able to repair and deal with things instead of digesting food.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two big changes. I also stopped drinking. I drink an occasional glass of wine, but it's not my go-to to wind down. I don't feel like I need it. I still like the taste of it, but I don't need it to knock me down and relax. I don't. And I never would have predicted that. I've been enjoying organic red wine, or, for years.
Yeah.
And just thinking, hey, red wine. No, but I keep reading how bad alcohol, that's a bunch of baloney. It's not good for you. Maybe tequila. I'll have to do some more reading on that. I must admit, I don't do that very often, but I don't have the reaction. My body does not have the inflammation reaction that it does with wine. So it must be, don't know. So those are the changes that I have been making.
I think it's the sugar, and I don't think wine is totally bad for you because Jesus's first miracle was turning water into wine. So how could it be so bad for you?
So it must be what I've got going. Well, you can't see what I've got. My chiropractor has always said, Karen, and see this little place that I had all these years is the end point of the large intestine meridian.
So maybe you have some candida or something that you need to
Well,
clean out.
That's what I decided to get things moving out. And I'm also taking some Cascara Sagrada, which is not, it just
Oh, I know what that
softens it.
is.
Yeah, it's good stuff and it doesn't, it's not a problem, but I just read if you're trying to clear something out so that you can attack it, and I'm using some ivermectin in here, which I've never done before. So I'm just being smarter about dealing with my intestinal perceived, because I've been told this by a man, the chiropractor I've seen for 20 years. He's
Yeah.
always telling me and my daughter, yeah, it's your small intestine, or yeah, it's your large intestine. Because he's muscle testing, see, he knows. So I thought, well, how am I going to clear this out? So I did some things, just made some changes. It's made all the difference.
Well, I think that's important distinction because the quantum twine wave will affect our frequency. But if we're keep putting fuel on the fire,
That's
then
what I was,
it's going to be harder, So that's why I do the hug videos so that we can meet it in the middle, So, and I will also say wine. I don't drink wine very often anymore, maybe once a month. But what I noticed with it, I do love it, but I noticed that it makes my heart rate too high when I'm sleeping, like 10 beats. Like last night, my heart rate was like 50, my resting heart rate. But if I have wine, then it's way higher.
Yeah, mine's nice and slow right now. And it used to be a little bit, my pulse has always been a little bit fast all the time I was in nursing school and stuff. And it's not. It's like 70 or yeah, it's about 70. I'm counting.
That's awesome.
Well, I can do every other second and I can tell what it is,
Oh, because of your nursing. That's
well,
awesome.
I mean, we get used to counting with patients. You can count for 15 or count for 30 seconds. You know what it's going to be. So I went, hey, I'm going to test what you said because I'm not doing as much. And yes, as a matter of fact, it is slower.
Hey. Oh, cool. That's good.
So I'm excited.
Well, you're really probably super duper excited because you're a golden VIP and we're going to be able to go in the QARC pretty soon. So with that, we get to take a healthy, is that your 30-year-old body?
That's my 45-year-old body. I couldn't, I did find one, but this is the one that I liked where I was looking at myself. And I could see in the mirror that this is what it used to be and this is what it will be again. So I'm telling itself, yes, you're going to heal exactly like this. Perfect. So I put this, when I look in the mirror, I put it in there like this because it's the same size and that's what I see. And I'm looking at myself. So it doesn't feel weird at all. I thought it would feel weird, but it feels great. Feels like what I need.
Normal, natural. Yeah.
And this is on my cell phone. So I see myself smiling at myself, looking good, looking an age that, I always never looked my age before. And now I'm going to be the same way again. And I'm so excited.
Well, what are you going to do with this beautiful, healthy 30-year-old body and all the wisdom that you have acquired, even some recently, I mean, you're like me, you're constantly learning and growing, but what are you going to do moving forward post QARC? What excites you?
Well, I have put it in the chats, and I've put it on the Telegram channel that I fully intend to open a QHS center. I mean, I'm a nurse, and I worked for a really good couple who they were doing the home health thing, but they have 6 companies plus the UPS store in the major town where I live next door, and they really build nice buildings, and they're very organized. They have 2 mortgage companies, 2 home health agencies, and they would be really good. And plus, he was a medic, and he has severe health issues with his spine. So he would be very, of course, I haven't talked to them, and I won't. But I know who would help me. And the woman who used to be my boss, well, she ran the whole thing, and so she would be good too. So I have a lot of people in mind. I'm very excited
Cool.
to be able to have a center, hopefully. I know they're going to get the one going in Utah, and so that they can see exactly how it needs to be. Absolutely. And so
Well,
you just do the same sort of thing.
yeah.
Everybody's going to, yeah, that's the way
And
to do it.
I mean, we said on the call the other day, I don't know if you were on Friday's call, but it's like
Yeah.
we can have them adjacent to the CACs. We just have
Yes,
to
I heard
develop
that.
the model. So once the
Well, I
model's
even
in
have a
place,
place for CSC that I found. It's got a pond, and I just went, well, I don't know who owns that, but it's just gorgeous, and it's centrally located. And yes, I could just incorporate that into it. I've printed out my QHS stuff. It's in my folder. I have a place I'm already, got a spot for my CAC. It's on the little map. So I'm just, it's
ah,
going to happen when it's going to happen.
yes, for sure. But what are you going to do for you besides opening up a center? What excites you? What are you going to do for you?
I have never gotten to travel the world.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, Italy, Greece, everywhere. I'm assuming it will be safe and wonderful. I know people who go to New Zealand, Ireland. I would like to. I have a best friend, and her sister goes all over the world, and my friend won't go with her because she doesn't like to go that much. But I will. Yeah. My kids both sail. They don't like boats. They like sailing boats, and they both sail. My 2 older ones do. The 2 older ones do. We all like the water, and so I'd like to join them on more sailing things, like in the British Virgin Islands and things like that. They
Wow,
do.
where's their boat?
Well, they rent one. They all know how to sail, and so they don't have to have a captain. So they just rent the boat. Like they do this every year and a half. They save their money, and they go over, and they go for a week, and they fly over there, and they sail all around the different British Virgin Islands. They go different places. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So they
They took
basically,
sailing lessons here in Oklahoma. They both did. They all have the ones who could get to Grand Lake and take lessons. And one of them has a 23-foot small sailboat, and then the other one rents with his friends. So they like to sail.
that sounds fun.
And
I
I
would
like
love
to
that.
kayak, and so I'd like to go on more kayaking trips. I love to kayak, and I just know I'm going to have all this energy. I just bought a new bicycle about 3 months ago.
Cool. I love,
Yeah.
we went mountain biking yesterday, my hubby and I, and it was so torturous. It was hot, and the trail was overgrown, and we had to like literally go through all the brush. It was nuts. And the ground was like uneven because we had so much rain, but that's like part of the adventure. You don't even mention it. You don't complain when you're out on the trail. You just power through, and then you get down and you go, oh, that was a doozy. So I'd love to see you on a bike ride.
Well, I've always had a bicycle, and I have slalomed for 50 years. Slalomed water skiing.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I started when I was 12, and I just quit because the people who were driving the boat, they all died. And I didn't get another boat because I was too busy going to nursing school, etc. But I have plans.
Girl, you have such great energy. I'm so glad.
Well, this little wonderful device has really gotten me in a better mental state, and I'm sure everyone else will get there. We're all, it happens when it happens.
Yeah, God's timing's for everything.
Because I listened to everybody else's stories and I said, yeah, I'm just not there yet. And then all of a sudden I was, where I wanted to tell you about it.
Yeah, that's awesome, Karen. What would you like to say in closing?
If you're having challenges, I was having challenges, and I was thinking, well, it seems like it's 2 steps forward sometimes and 1 step back sometimes. Well, but when you look at it at the end of 4 months, I certainly wouldn't want to be without this thing, because it's really, in fact, it went through the front loader one time when I washed my sheets. Yeah, when I got sick and I was sweating and I don't know what was going on with me about a month ago, I just threw my sheets in there, and I was such a dingbat. I took it out of my pillowcase and I shook it out and I went, please be okay. But it was a front loader. It was a front loader, so not as much water. So I shook it and shook it and shook it, and put it out on the porch so that it would evaporate out for about an hour. And then I plugged it back in and it worked.
Good.
I know other people have dropped. I have it all attached, so I'll never drop it. I never dreamed I would be I didn't feel so bad that I wasn't even paying attention to what I was doing. So if you don't have your device, you will get your device. And for me, it's been a journey, and each of our journeys is different. I've heard all of y'all's journeys, and it's very exciting. And so when everyone will have something good to say, they will.
Yeah.
Even if you think you're not there yet. I've heard enough good stories that I know that, and see, I had to get some stuff out of the way. It took me a while to figure it out, what I needed to take away out of my life to help this work better. And then it also, in the process, made me a little more mature, and look at, instead of telling everybody else what to do, look at yourself, girl. So that's, yeah.
Very well said, my friend. And what was the name of the book again that helped you get your stuff out of the way?
This is a little flip chart type book. You can read the whole book, but this is a flip chart. Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. $15 on Amazon. See, it has a little ring at the top.
Yeah.
And it has at the first, it has a script that if you need to process the feelings and you don't know what to say. But it has something to help, but it has feelings listed, and the opposite of the feelings, if people have trouble putting their feelings into words. It's a cool book.
And I like that, because a lot of, like you said, trapped emotion will block things. And so by releasing that, you're able to heal faster. So
yes.
Good job. All right, my darling friend, thank you so much for spending some time with me today and sharing your beautiful story. Will you come back for part 2 after the QR?
Absolutely. Thank you.
I look forward to it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, sweetie. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.